What is up, ladies and gentle dudes? Kyle here, and today we are going to be talking about Breaking Bad, the movie. So if you've been on social media lately, I'm sure you'll have seen plenty of articles about this. There's been one from Complex, there's been one from Vice, there's been one from Uproxx, there's even been one from Vanity Fair, of all fucking places. Really? Really, dude? We're gonna give this fan edit this level of attention? I saw one of the first articles that came out about it. When I saw it pop up in my news feed, I decided that, fuck it, I'm gonna watch it because I'm a huge fan of Breaking Bad. So, let's just get this out of the way right now. This is a fan edit. It is not approved by Vince Gilligan or Sony Pictures. It's not approved by the producers or the production company. It's just these two random dudes showed up out of nowhere and decided that they were going to edit the entire series, 62 episodes of Breaking Bad, into a 2-hour movie. Now, in theory, this is a pretty fun experiment. They took 2 years to work on this fucking thing. And I feel like the popularity level of this is blown way out of proportion. Fan edits are nothing new. I just want to get that out there. That's pretty clear. There's a huge community of people doing fan edits. They've done it for Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Star Wars. I'm sure they've done it for Star Trek. There's hundreds of, websites where you can go and watch fan edits. So why this one stuck out, I'm not exactly sure, but it's been getting a lot of attention. Normally, in my reviews, I would talk about the writing, and the story, the characterization, the editing, and the cinematography. I'd try and tackle all points. But it's got to be a different review, because Breaking Bad is a show that's been off the air for a few years now. Every one of those aspects is incredible. Okay, in the show, it's incredible. It's my favorite TV show. And, it always stirs up emotions in me. Every single time I watch it. Every single time there's a tense scene, I get, really bad heart palpitations and start freaking out. Even if I know what's coming. Spoilers for Breaking Bad if you haven't seen it. But if you're watching this, you should have seen Breaking Bad already. Because the fan edit is not for new viewers. When Jesse is reminiscing about the box that he built in the last episode, right before he gets free, that is one of the saddest fucking moments on TV. I always fucking cry when that shit happens. And of course there's just myriad amazing scenes in this show. Gus getting his face blown off, Walt losing his mind when he finds out that Skyler's given Ted all his fucking money. There's just so many amazing scenes. Even, wipe down this from the first episode with the car wash. But this fan edit, because they wanted to condense it down to 2 hours, almost all of these memorable moments are gone. On my phone, I have 5 pages of notes of just everything that is fucking wrong with this. When you take something that's long form and you try to condense it, the issue, of course, is always telling a coherent story that you can convey to the audience. And, I appreciate what they were trying to do. I'm not going to say that I wasn't appreciating it. But one of the biggest issues is that it completely defeats the purpose of Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is a show about Walter White transforming into Heisenberg and becoming this massive drug kingpin, this normal, chemistry teacher guy who gets his cancer diagnosis, and then he kind of goes off the rails, and he enjoys that rush of making drugs and making money off of drugs. And the entire show is about transformations, not just Walt's, but, Skyler's and Jesse's and Hank's, even Gus, even the side characters, even the, unimportant ones, even Badger and Skinny Pete transform throughout the show. They're just these dopey, goofy guys that get beat down by this world that they're kind of thrust into thanks to Walt. And that's pretty much everyone in the show. Breaking Bad, the movie, boils it down basically to Walt's character arc. Which, fine. If we have 2 hours, fine. Tell Walt's story. That's fine. But the thing is that there are no other plots. There's no other. There's not a B plot or C plot. And the big thing is that Walt you don't get really a clear sense of his family life before he makes this descent. You just see that he's kind of an asshole with cancer who becomes kind of a bigger asshole with cancer. He doesn't even become a monster because we don't get the impact of him, taking on these rival drug dealers and the ruthless shit that he does. You don't get to see Gus die. There's almost no fucking on-screen deaths, okay? They cut out so much. It really strips it down to this bare-bones skeleton where it's not even the same show. I mean, it's a transformative work in the worst way possible. I just want to make this clear to everyone right now. And the reason why is, okay, they take the first 4 seasons of the show, okay? This thing is 2 hours long. They take the first 4 seasons of the show and they condense it down into 1 hour. And then the 5th season, that takes up the whole 2nd hour. Why? I have no fucking clue why they did this. It's very clear where the story starts to get good. Of course it's going to be in that 2nd hour because season 5 is given far more room to breathe, You get basically an abridged version of season 5 with a bunch of random shit escalating to that point that doesn't really coalesce in any way. It's kind of hilarious to watch because the thing is that characters come and go whenever they please. Jesse shows up for like 2 minutes. Walt goes on the ride along with Hank, sees Jesse jumping out of the fucking house, and then is like, all right, we're gonna go cook meth. They go cook. Jesse fucking just disappears. Then Saul shows up. Saul disappears. Jesse reappears for like 2 seconds. Then he disappears. Then Gus shows up. And, Gus, wants to kill Walt immediately. He wants to kill Walt and replace him with Gale immediately. It's ridiculous. It's surreal. It doesn't make any sense. Of course, Jesse shows back up as soon as Walt decides that he needs to kill Gale, because of course he does. How are you going to change that? You never get the threat of violence towards Walt. You never see the horrible shit that he does. You never see the pressure that he's under all the time, or the pressure that other people are under. All you see is these little tidbits. And I would say that the only thing that this fan edit does really well is it makes Skyler look like less of a bitch to Breaking Bad fans. To me, that's a pretty impressive feat, because everybody fucking hated Skyler. But when you condense her character arc down into, 2 hours, you slowly see, how she got to the point that she did. And that actually helped her a lot. But everything else about this edit is a fucking mess. The second half fares better because it's basically just an abridged version of season 5. And even though it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on in season 5, it was basically just Vince Gilligan and the crew wrapping up loose ends, Of course, the villains weren't nearly as defined. So, Uncle Jack and his band of neo-Nazis, they were the weakest villains in Breaking Bad for sure. But in here, they're just a little bit menacing. I mean, you don't lose anything from showing a little bit less of them. But, of course, we don't get the amazing, the train robbery or anything. Literally, Mike and Jesse just go, we're out, even though it looked like they were already out. And then Walt's like, all right, fuck it, I quit too. Then you pretty much just thrust into the last 2 episodes. And then, they were able to condense those down pretty well. But Jesus Christ, man. It speaks volumes about how amazing a show like this was. How it kind of flew in the face of television storytelling at the time that it was released. And now you see every other show trying to emulate Breaking Bad in one way or another, with really trying to tell these solid, long-form story arcs, which is something that, on cable you didn't normally see. You saw that on, HBO, or Showtime, or Stars or something like that. Now that we live in this post Breaking Bad world, there's a lot of TV shows that are trying to emulate it and are actually pretty successful at it. I'm serious, man. This fucking fan edit is for nobody. It's made for no one. It's one of those things that's a passion project that, again, sounds cool in theory, but really when it boils down to it, you're not making it for the new fans, or the people that are interested in Breaking Bad that haven't seen it, because it doesn't tell you anything interesting. It cuts out every single thing that makes a TV show great, just to condense down one fucking story arc. It's not for people that are already fans of the show and have seen it, multiple times, because those people would probably just rather go watch the show again. I know that I personally would just rather go watch the show again. I guess it's just one of those nostalgia things where people go like, oh yeah, I remember that. It feels like a band that you really enjoy. Like, it feels like their greatest hits album, except they only put like 1 or 2 really good songs on there, and the rest is just B-sides, shit that was left on the cutting room floor. These 2 interesting moments surrounded by a flood of boring shit. And that is not what the TV show is at all. And this fan edit does not accomplish, or at least I hope it doesn't accomplish what it set out to do. I'd say the most shocking thing about this is that it took 2 years with 2 people to make this, and apparently they made 12 fucking different edits of Breaking Bad the movie. I would love to hear about it more, because I don't see how this possibly could have taken that long. The arc's already fucking laid out for you. All you had to do was pick and choose which moments that you wanted and cut them. Manipulate them to work. But 2 years of work, I gotta say, it's been fucking wasted. It's not for me to judge you as an artist, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And you wasted 2 years of your fucking life on this. And it got taken down by copyright claim already. Every single place you try to watch this fucking thing is taken down by copyright. You had your 15 minutes of fame by making this fucking thing that nobody even got to watch. Bravo. I know that's mean, but it's kind of true. And it spits in the face of Breaking Bad in some ways. I feel like. To take somebody else's work and transform it, and maybe you're not saying you could make it better, but that's what it feels like you're saying, and you didn't. Oh man, maybe I'm getting that lung cancer. So my final verdict for Breaking Bad the movie is gonna have to be a 3 out of 10. Obviously, I would give it an even lower score, because it's just fucking dog shit. But the thing is that it's still Breaking Bad underneath. There's still those few moments that shine through, and that's the only thing that kept me watching it. Literally, the only thing that kept me watching it is like, well, how are they gonna manipulate this to fit into this 2 hours? And for the most part, it didn't do that. But every once in a while, there was a moment where I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. But that's all this is good for. It's a nostalgia kick for fucking idiots. Just go watch the show. Just go watch the show. If you haven't seen the show, go watch the show. If you have seen the show and you want to watch this, just go watch the show instead. Save yourself 2 hours of fucking garbage, or, spend 62 hours watching something good over the course of, a month or a couple months. I think I'm gonna go with more content that I enjoy. Alright, thank you for tuning in. I'll be back soon. So there you have it. That's the review for Breaking Bad the movie. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Let me know. I'd love to talk to you more about it. Also, if you liked the video, be sure to hit that like button. And if you really liked it, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Here's 2 other videos, and I'll see you soon.